and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
When I step on the field, send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? It's hot now! It's hot now! Let's go! It's hot! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, we remind the heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You ought to make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, send me one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We ready? I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! It's a wrap. Game over.
No, this game is not over at all. In fact, it's just getting started. I'm already trying to cut up here in Team Texas Tuesday on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Big shout out to Willie Gibson, Valencia King, Keith Hennick, Monique Mosley, all of them tuned in. I see you, Madam CJ, and appreciate all y'all tuning in for the show. Brenda Humphreys Howard, I see you. Got my Prairie View A&M on today. It's Team Texas Tuesday. I'm repping an HBCU every week. And for Team Texas Tuesday, I decided I was going to rep Prairie View A&M. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Prairie View before the show is over. But I got to send some love out. Young lady was on my show not too long ago. I believe it was on, I think, one of our Freestyle Fridays, but Marita Gilcrease, assistant basketball coach at Rider University for their women's team. Amazing young lady who is not just a basketball coach, but she is also a motivational speaker, a business coach, a life coach, and she sent me a Rider University jersey. Rider University jersey. Now, Rider is in New Jersey. It's not an HBCU, but I got to rock the shirt. You know, I got to rock the shirt. In fact, as soon as it gets cold enough, Keith, I got to rock Stephen F. Austin and St. Thomas University. I got to rock those as well because I've had good people blessing me with shirts and stuff for a long time. Donna Coleman Holman has broken me off with some stuff. My frat brother, Squeeze, Randall McHenry, has sent some stuff over to me. So I got to rock it. But every week I'm going to be giving an HBCU some love. I can't do it like Chris Paul. I can't do it like CP3, who rocks the kicks from the different HBCUs. But you know me, I got a special place in my heart for the historically black colleges and universities. And anybody that's got a problem with that, listen, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm not even talking about you. I got more important things to do than to get caught up in your rhetoric about race relations and division and what have you. You want to talk division? Go tune into the national news and look at what's happening divisively from the top down. I'll leave it with that. But I'm gonna give love where love is due. And the HBCUs have been educating young black boys and girls for a long, long, long time. And I'm respectful. I'm very respectful of their plight, especially going on with what's going on right now. The fact that they're trying to hang on during a global pandemic. You know, they don't have the dowries that you know the A&Ms have and the UTs have and the Alabama has and all that. So you know they need good people to talk them up and get some kids enrolled, and they do the graduation part. Graduation part. So again, a lot of love to Prairie View, a lot of love to the other HBCUs out there. All right, Chris Paul, y'all. Chris Aloysius Paul. Chris, my mama didn't name me Carl Paul. That dude that's a bad man. That's a bad man. And all I will say is some of you Rocket fans that talk bad about that man for not being able to stay healthy. But everything else that he did was stellar. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let you degrade that man's legacy here in Houston. Did he have a health problem? Yeah, but I'm sure he didn't wake up and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna hurt myself today," or "I'm gonna call in hurt" when he wasn't. And I will just use what we're seeing right now to prove to you that you're wrong and I'm right. Because when he's healthy, hard to beat. Hard to get in his head, hard to knock him off his game, hard to put him away. In fact, I forget who said it, but they said, when they sleep on you, tuck them in. Chris Paul is tucking some haters in right now. And I'm going to say it again. I'm a Rockets fan. I'm not a Rockets fan in name only. I'm a Rockets fan. I've been a Rockets fan since Jeff Rule. Is that his name? The big guy? Got them to an NBA Finals. They didn't win it, but they got there. Listen, Chris Paul, man, did that thing. He would not let his team go away. He would not let his team go away. And they kept doing what they needed to do until they hung around and, they pulled out a win. They pulled out a win. Let's talk about it next on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. If you want to get in, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. I want to hear from you today. Text me, 832-403-5005, 832-403-5005. Talk about your Rockets. What happened? What happened last night? And what's going to happen tomorrow night? That's what I want to know. All right, we'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
Right now.
I'm Linda J. We all know Election Day is just around the corner. We want change. We need change. We can be the change. Exercise your right for change on Election Day. Don't talk about it. Let's be about it. So let's roll to the polls in record numbers and we can make that change. This message is approved by KYOK 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOKradio.org.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion. with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian to Me show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more. There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free guaranteed health insurance quote starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800-797-0921.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Team Texas Tuesday. Talk all things about Texas sports. Got to talk about the Houston Rockets Game 6 of the NBA playoff series with the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's Series 1. It's round 1 for the Rockets and OKC, but OKC does not seem to want to go home. Lost last game by 30, and I said yesterday with David Grubb, host of Heart in the Paint on the show, I said to him, man, Rockets can win one game by 30 and lose by 30. Now, they didn't lose by 30, but they lost. I shot a message to Grubb, and I said, yo, man, you were right about CP3 and about the Oklahoma City Thunder, because he said that OKC would win and force a Game 7. Also had to give some love to Chris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review. Chris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review said it best. Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. Down the stretch, Rockets turned the ball over too many times. Mike D'Antoni, after the game, said that they were shooting for less than 10 turnovers. That was their goal. Less than 10 turnovers. Guess how many they had? Double that plus a couple. They had 22 turnovers. And Oklahoma City turned that into 22 points. Now, again, a little bit of change here, a little bit of change there. You've got a different result. But that's why they play the games. That's why they play the games. And he even talked about, head coach Mike D'Antoni even talked about the play after the free throws by CP3, that having Russ bring the ball up and then swinging it over to Harden is a play they like to run. Said both of the guys wanted to run it, so we went with that. Let me just say this real quick. If that's a play you like to run, and that's a play you run often, and that's what both of the guys, Russ and James, like to run, don't you think CP3 and everybody else in the league might know that? Especially CP3. Why? He was with you last year. He knows what James likes to run. He knows what you like to call. He's smart. His basketball IQ is off the charts. So I don't understand why you would just keep running the same thing that they like to run. Hey, guys, no, let's do this. Let's just go ahead and put it in James' hand right now, and let's just go ahead and roll with that. Let's just do that. Let's take our chances with our best guy. You guys get out on the wing. Let him try to create. I mean, you play ISO ball all the time. Why not give it to him from baseline to baseline? And what happened? Turnover. And what happened? More free throws. Ball game. Ball game. I mean, I know hindsight is 20/20, but I said before this series started, we've seen this before with the Rockets. Up 1 minute, predictable and down the next. That's all I'm saying is we've seen it. So now it's win or go home. It's win or get out of the bubble is what it is. It's win or get out of the bubble. So I want to hear what you think. Give me your take on the game itself yesterday and what you think is going to happen tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I got to take another break, but when I come back, I heard a caller say on another show that we as Rocket fans got to stop thinking that if the Rockets lose this first round to Oklahoma City, that they're going to blow the franchise up as we know it. We got to stop thinking that. My question is, why? Why do we have to stop thinking that? We'll talk about it next, right here on the lunch break. Again, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. I want to know if what your thoughts are about yesterday's game, and I also want to know what you think the Rockets are going to do tomorrow. All right, 281-453-1000, or text me 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. Here's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. 2 radio stations in one.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
Now is a great time to replace your worn-out windows during the Renewal by Andersen 25-year savings event. Upgrade your home today. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Plus, get 12 months with no interest, no money down, and no payments. Call now. Get 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Installation and warranty included. Renewal by Andersen takes every CDC-recommended safety precaution to protect your family. For 25 years, people have trusted us for their window replacement needs, and you can too. Call now to learn about our buy 4, get the 5th one free window replacement offer.
800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
Interest accrues from date of purchase, but is waived if paid in full within 12 months. Other conditions apply. We've adjusted our operations to serve you safely following all CDC guidelines. Visit renewalbyandersen.com for details.
This is Jasmine Highsmith, and you're having a side of sports with your lunch here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Hey, don't forget, every 15 seconds a home gets robbed. Don't be another statistic. Call Home Security Professionals today at 1-800-561-6947. That's 1-800-561-6947 for the Home Security Professionals, all right? All right, that's who's bringing us this segment of the lunch break. All right, let me get to a couple of comments that got posted on social media. Keith Hennig said, "You're spot on about the erratic Rockets, but I hope they pull it out. I hope they pull out the series." Keith, I do too. I don't want. Well, hold on. My good side and my bad side. Wait a minute. Good Kermit and bad Kermit with the hoodie. I don't want the Rockets to lose. I want the Rockets to win and pull it out and play the Lakers in the next round. I want that. But bad Kermit said, let them lose. Bad Kermit says, let them lose. And I segue that into the comment that I made right before the break where, a good longtime Rocket fan on another station called in and said, Rocket fans need to quit thinking that if they lose in the first round to Oklahoma City, that they're going to blow up the organization because they got too much money invested in Chris Paul. They got too much money invested in James Harden. I'm sorry, too much money invested in Russell Westbrook and too much money invested in James Harden. I hear you. I get you. But remember when everybody said that Chris Paul's contract would be untradeable? They found a way to get it done. Just because, help me, y'all. The song "It's Cheaper to Keep Her." That's a song about not divorcing someone. KYOK, hold on, please. That's a song about not divorcing someone because you don't want her to take you to the cleaners in court. But I'm not condoning divorce. Do you stay with someone that, maybe has cheated on you or beat on you because it's cheaper to keep her? It's the same thing with the Rockets. If this thing is not working, if they're not getting the job done, do we not expect there to be a change from the top down because you've got too much invested in Russell Westbrook and James Harden? That's like telling the Texans they had to hold on to Brock Osweiler because they had too much invested in him. I don't get that logic. I talk about championship mentality. And I just feel like if that's the way you think, then that's not championship mentality. I feel like, it's like I often say about the city of Houston. Yeah, I've lived in other places where they've won championships and what have you. There are cities and teams out there that are not afraid to let go of their favorite sons when they're past their prime or when they're too expensive to keep. Houston ain't like that. Baby, if Houston loves you, and I'm not talking about everybody, they love certain people more than they love other people. You figure out what I'm talking about. But baby, Brian Cushing, some of those baseball players, They love them. Wasn't gonna let them go. Cushing has been done Cushing was done probably 4 years before he got let go. Oh yeah, and he got popped for steroids twice. Let's not miss that fact. But because he was a favorite son, they went all out on him. Matt Schaub, they gave him all that money. He wasn't even asking for money. They gave him money. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
AJ, it's Todd.
What's going on, Todd?
Man, try to tell people you can't trust that product. Mike D'Antoni been showing you this product since Phoenix. Check this out. Mike D'Antoni had, let me go through the talent this man wasted, okay? On the Phoenix team in their primes, he had Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and Joe Johnson. Still couldn't get it done. Couldn't even get to the finals. And I know the D'Antoni supporters would be like, Dave, the Spurs were there. I get it. The Lakers were nice too. I get it. Not saying it's easy. But this man has had a ton of talent that a lot of coaches have never had, right? In that system, if you look at a lot of former players that play for D'Antoni, a lot of them will rip that system. And they'll say, yeah, it's fun to watch. Everyone gets to score. Everyone gets to shoot threes. But come playoff time, once that three ball gets cold for a few stretches, It doesn't work because they don't have anything else they go to. When the Rockets get a lead, let me give an example. Remember when the Patriots walked down the Falcons in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why did the Falcons get walked down? The Falcons 28-3, and they kept trying to throw deep passes, right?
Right. Yeah, they instead of running the ball, well, instead of mixing in a healthy dose of run and taking your shots as they present themselves, when you pull that defense in, they kept trying to hit the home run ball on New England and bury them.
Exactly. That's what the Rockets. When the Rockets get up, they stayed with jacking threes up early in the shot clock.
Right.
A smarter team would say, look, let's take some of the air out of it.
Yep.
High pick and roll. Let's start attacking the basket, but let's start attacking with 10 seconds or less on the shot clock. So the Rockets, even if you get down with, they give you plenty of opportunities to get back in the game.
Absolutely. They can shoot themselves into a game and they can shoot themselves out of a game. And that's why a guy with basketball IQ, toughness, grit, let me use all the terms that they use for other people, basketball IQ, grit, and, competitive nature and all that. That's why with his kind of push, he knows that they're never out of the game when they're playing against the Rockets. And, oh, yeah, by the way, there is something to a team that is consistently good pulling out games late in the games. And that's what Oklahoma City is.
So when you look at so let me go to Russell Westbrook real quick. So you traded Chris Paul, you got Russell Westbrook, right?
Right.
The reason I like the partnership better of Chris Paul and James Harden is I thought Chris Paul was more of a stabilizing force late in game. He was more under control, and I think you need a guy like to balance James Harden. Chris Paul is more like a traditional point guard to me.
Yeah.
He can kind of get their sets, slow it down. He understands pace better. Russell Westbrook don't play like that.
Yeah.
He plays on speed. I don't need you at 100 miles an hour late in the game with 15.
Yeah.
I need to take put the brake on a little bit, but he just plays at speed. So I don't know why that broke up with the Rockets CP3. I thought it was a huge mistake. As you see, Chris Paul is balling right now. To me, it was a much better fit. And, I mean, I still want answers on that. I don't, even if Harden and him were not getting along, Shaq and Kobe didn't get along.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I have a little less respect for the front office of the Rockets than I did before. I love Daryl Morey. I respect Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey is one of the brightest minds in the NBA, bar none. If you can't manage personalities and you can't coach different personalities, then I wonder if you are as good as they say you are. Because, again, if you're going to let your whole team get busted up over, he don't like him and he don't like him, you just not. Remember how I used to go at Brad Stevens about that? He couldn't manage all that talent. And I said I got to give more credit now to the Phil Jacksons of the world, to the even your boy over there in Golden State. I got to give credit because not everybody can manage all those different personalities and put success on the scoreboard. So, I don't know what the Rockets are doing, but I tell you what, if you took a poll right now and asked people, who would you rather have right now, Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook, the majority will say Chris Paul.
And that's when the trade happened. And you and I talked about it. It made no sense to me. And I don't know. I just don't get it. Because if you have Chris Paul on the Rockets right now versus Westbrook, like I said, I think that's just a much better. He can kind of slow the pace down when you need it. He makes really good basketball decisions. And now you got it. A big part of why I picked the Thunder in this series is because of Chris Paul.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be so amped up for it. And he knows probably the Rockets system pretty well, obviously, from playing there.
Yeah.
Now the Rockets got themselves in a situation where you in one game, if James Harden roll an ankle or something, freak happens.
Yep. And here's my thing. I would take the injuries out of it. If it's close late in the game, I'm going OKC. Yeah. The Rockets don't want the pressure on them late in a game in a close one with Oklahoma City, because we've seen that they'll press too hard, try to do too much, and Oklahoma City doesn't foul a whole lot. They're young, but down that stretch in those last, 5, 4, 3 minutes of the game, it's almost like a whole different level of maturity kicks in that you want on your team. If the Rockets let it come down to that, I'm looking at Oklahoma City and the Lakers in round 2.
I do too, because I trust Chris Paul down the stretch.
Yep.
More than anybody. I mean, if you look how cold Chris Paul is, I got Chris Paul as probably my 3rd best point guard of all time. I got Magic 1, Isaiah Thomas 2, and I got Chris Paul at 3.
You know what? Honestly, I can't argue with that. I know other people will, but I can't argue with that.
I mean, I don't think that guy gets enough credit. He got a mid-range game. He dropping threes on people.
Think about it, Todd. They said a couple of years ago, if we had Chris Paul, we would have beat the Golden State Warriors and probably won the NBA championship. Now, watch this. They had James Harden and couldn't get it done. They said with Chris Paul, we would have been able to get it done. That tells you all you need to know about that young man. Again, Rocket fans, I love Rocket fans. I really do. I love the city. I love this team. But, we got to get out of the homerism of, because they said, watch this. They said the Rockets bench was so much better than the Oklahoma City bench. Here's the thing. Did they forget that Mike D'Antoni forgets about his bench or doesn't use his bench? 2 deep, 3 deep at the most. So if your 8 players are not scoring, he doesn't dig down deep to find somebody with a hot hand to try and spark the difference. So it's just keep warming the same old soup over and over and over again. And we've seen that year after year, not just game after game.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it'll be interesting. Hey, man, I remember Phil Jackson said he used to hate Game 7 because you never know what can happen. You never want to let it come down to that.
Right.
And you and I were texting earlier today. The Thunder have no pressure.
Nope.
They're not predicted to win the series.
Nope.
They weren't even predicted to get into the playoffs.
Nope. All they got to do is do what they've been doing. That's all they have to do. That's it.
Yeah, man. It's when I saw the first 2 games of the series when the Thunder were struggling from the 3, I was like, man, I don't know if they can do it. They just don't have enough shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're winning in other ways, that's a credit to their coaching staff and just for their team playing hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Todd, I got another caller. Let me catch them real quick, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, AJ.
All right, man. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this? Uh-oh. Hello. Hello. You still there? I could kind of hear him, but I can't. So if you were just holding on, call me back. I apologize. Me and Todd get going sometime. But, let me get to a couple of other comments. Keith Hennick said that if you live by the 3, you die by the 3. Al High says Rockets did better with Chris God than Westbrook. And I like that he calls Chris Paul the point guard. Chris Paul is a legit point guard. He's a legit point guard. And I try to, break this down for folks, and they don't quite understand it. There's a lot of people that play point guard. Remember when James Harden got moved to the point? He was, all-star. I mean, he played it very well. But there's a difference between playing point guard and being a point guard. Big difference between playing and being. And like Todd just said, Magic Johnson was a point guard. Isaiah Thomas was a point guard. Jason Kidd, point guard. And, I can go on and on and on. Pearl Washington was a point guard. Those guys were point guards. There were a lot of people that played point guard, but there are not a lot of folks that are point guard. Chris Paul's a point guard. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this?
You're absolutely right, brother. Yeah, it's Birdman.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
The worst mistake, man, that the Rockets made was getting rid of Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a totally different point guard than James Harden. James Harden, to me, is not a point guard. He's more of a shooting guard. That's what a lot of people don't understand, AJ.
Right. But
they really tore up the chemistry when they let Chris Paul go. And also, they should have been let Capella go. When they let Capella go, it was way too late because that's what they was working with and trying to build on. But when you took all of that, piece of the puzzle away, the Rockets don't win a championship. I don't see them winning a championship with James Harden because it's just not, the chemistry isn't there.
Well, I tell you what, that would be unfortunate because, like somebody said, they've invested a lot of money in James Harden. And if you invested all that money in James, you've got everything built around James, and you don't bring home a chip, I'm not going to say it's money wasted, but it ain't money well spent.
Well, they weren't supposed to build around James. You build around the gentleman that was your center. You were supposed to build around Capella. You help Capella out, and then you build the franchise around Capella, not James. James wasn't that good enough to even start building around. Even when he was at OKC, he never could come through. James is an exceptional player. We're not taking anything from James. But
Yeah. I mean, a transcendent player. You know, he might be one of the best scorers that we'll ever see.
Absolutely.
And I can live with that. But you got to remember, at Oklahoma City, he was a sixth man. When he came here and was the man, he did. He took the league by storm. But now it's the details. You know, it's the details. Can he play well with other players? Haven't quite seen that when you look at Dwight Howard, when you look at Chris Paul. And again, let's not act like there have not been rumblings with him and Westbrook. And then you add in D'Antoni and someone who is consistently consistent, meaning he's going to run what he likes to run. And if you beat him, you beat him. If you don't, oh, well, they won. You know, for him to say, well, we ran the play that they wanted to run. We ran what they were used to. We ran what the guys wanted to do. Well, guess what? Chris Paul knew that too.
James will sell you tickets. James will put a bunch of parts on the board. But James is not Michael Jordan. James is not Kobe Bryant. And James is not LeBron James. Look at his game. Guy's an exceptional player. But when push comes to shove, he can't give it to you. He just can't. He's to me, he's always been a regular season guy. When it comes down the stretch, I've seen him come through maybe one time, AJ. And one time is not enough.
Yeah.
So between Westbrook and James, it's not enough. Why you think LeBron didn't want to come to Houston?
Man, don't start
come
that.
On, somebody.
Don't start that.
Yeah, come on.
Don't start that.
LeBron has a focus.
I gotta take a break. I want to come back to that. I want to come back to that. We'll be right back with Ferdinand, Call of the Year 2017, right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. He done opened up a can. We'll be right back.
92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
If you or a loved one is a survivor of abuse by Boy Scouts of America representatives as far back as the 1970s, we urge you to speak up. We'll stand with you and get you the help and financial compensation you deserve. A jury in Portland, for example, awarded $18.5 million in punitive damages in one Boy Scout sexual abuse case. The Boy Scouts of America filed for bankruptcy, and funds have been set aside to compensate those injured. Time is limited, and so are the funds. Call today. Don't wait. For free information on how to file your claim, call All Survivors Advocates right now. We have a long track record in helping our clients get the legal justice and compensation they deserve. Please, we are ready to help you. Call today.
800-351-7914. 800-351-7914. 800-351-7914. That's 800-351-7914.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian to Me show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian to Me show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 a.m. and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Okay.
It's the lunch break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Team Texas Tuesday. Let me get Ferdinand back on here. Ferdinand, you opened up that can. All right, we got to deal with it now. I've been saying this a while, that big-time free agents, like the LeBron James, the Kevin Durant's, I'll even throw Kyrie Irving in there, Kawhi Leonard, those guys. They were not going to come to a volatile situation, number one, and they also were not going to come to a situation where a guy might be so headstrong or his personality might be so different that others can't quite work with it. And I think we've seen that because the Rockets have been able to get guys to trade into the organization, but they haven't been able to get guys to just choose to come to the organization.
Well, when you can be a LeBron James and he sees what the Houston offense is being run, and it just doesn't work. It's a fact, AJ, that it haven't been working. And it's a fact, AJ, it's still not working. And so I commend Russ on what he's trying to do, but Russ is not going to be able to help James because you can't keep running your offense through James. That's a defense that can stop that at any given time. James Harden is not a go-to guy in the clutch. When you need that last shot from James Harden 9 times out of 10, AJ, he's not going to hit it.
And there are going to be people that's going to argue that with you. They're going to argue that with you. And here's I'm not justifying them, and I'm not going against you. But you have to be able to depend on James for that. Like you have to. Like there's nobody else in the building that you need to have the ball in their hands with the last shot for the win on the line. Now, mind you, I'm okay if he has the ball and he makes the right decision and passes it off to somebody else. But he has got to be the one that the offense runs through when the game is on the line. If he's not that, then they need to quit. They need to move on from James Harden.
I totally agree, but watch this. The go-to guy, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, when their team needed a last-second shot, a last-second go-to guy, those were the guys that they can continue to count on 99.9% of the time. They do that with James. Ain't nobody talking about James. You just can't do it. And so the only reason why Russell Westbrook doesn't have a championship because Kevin Durant was trying to make it about Kevin Durant instead of being a team player. Now you have Russell here with James. Russell is never going to win a championship because why? James Harden's going to make it be about James. You got to know when to be a team player, ain't it?
I hear you. It's something. I'm gonna say this. Something ain't right. Have you ever? You know how to cook. Have you ever tasted some food and it's like it's missing something?
A lot of stuff.
And that's what this is. Seriously.
Absolutely. And that's one thing we're saying, guys, about the Houston Rockets. We're not talking about them. We're not beating them up. Look, AJ, when Daryl Morey had the chemistry and he had Carmelo Anthony here, Carmelo was only supposed to give you 12 shots, get you 12 points. When it was time for Carmelo to do his job, what did the coach have on the bench? I can't help you on the bench. When you was in a game 7, you needed a guy to bring you some points so you could get out of game 7 and get a championship. You didn't do it. So D'Antoni is not the coach for the Rockets. Get rid of him.
Yeah, well, and again, to the folks who say that they should not blow this up, I'm saying that what you blow up is D'Antoni, Morey, and Harden. You don't blow up, the rest of what you put together. If you're going to play small ball, then play small ball with what you got. I don't know. I want to see how this – go ahead.
No. We'll see how it plays out, but right now, the chemistry not there. They ran the chemistry out the door.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have, AJ.
Yeah, appreciate you, Ferdinand.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. Appreciate it.
All right, you too. Call in 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. It's Team Texas Tuesday. So, yeah, when you click on that song title, that's when it puts everything in order. Yeah, no problem. All right. It's her birthday, y'all. Come on back, Linda J. Put your mask on now. Don't give me that Rona. Come on that side. Don't give me that Rona. I want a lot of things from you, but I don't want that Rona. So how old are you today? Tell everybody how old you are today.
I'm a 62.
You're not 62?
Yes, I am.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
Girl.
Seasoned. Yes.
And I'm being messy now. You married?
No.
You got a boo?
No.
You ain't got no boo?
No boo.
All right, so y'all listen. You know how I used to be trying to hook Ferdinand up? Ferdinand, I want you to call Linda J. And Linda J, when you see a number come across your phone, it might be not Ferdinand, Dr. Aki Davis. Dr. Aki, I want you to call Linda J. She's 62. You got a pension? You got some benefits? What we got? Medicaid, Medicare, what we on? Aki, I'm trying to help you out, dog. I'm trying to help you out. He's been single for a long time. Have you ever looked for a house and they say this house been on the market and it'd be like 12 years? That's Dr. Aki. We trying.
You know what he wanted to go look at the house?
Maybe they look at it, but after they look, they keep looking. So Dr. Aki, she's 62. She's beautiful. She's funny. She got Medicaid, Medicare, and what else she got? She got her own house. How many car garage? She got a spot for your hoopty. Listen, bro, I'm trying to help you, dog. I'm trying to help you, man. I'm trying to help. That's my homeboy. I'm trying to help him out.
They that wait.
Upon the Lord shall. No, he's all right.
Mount up.
Well, now we're not mounting right now. We're just getting to know each other. Get on out of here, Linda J. Get on out of here, Linda J. We love you too. Happy birthday. Boy, I should sing, but folks going to want me on their album and their CD projects and stuff. You know, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, they going to want me on their stuff.
Wait on it. Just wait on it.
Put me in E flat. Put me in E flat. Bye. If y'all see Dr. Aki out there, tell him I was trying to hook him out. Tell him I was trying to get. He's so busy chasing them younger ones. He need one about 62 is what he needs. Let's see. My real good friend Terrell Rollins says Andre Jones, so you can matchmake and I can't. LOL. See don't try this at home because I's a professional. I is a professional. Don't try this at home. See, folks try this at home, mess around and get messed up and then have to go see them people. But T, call me. We'll talk about it. I'm going to see if I can help you matchmake a little bit better. El Michelle said, ooh, Linda is going to get the hookup. She said, what you say? Mount up. It's Team Texas Tuesday. I'm trying to put some teams together in Texas. So anyway, are the Rockets in trouble? Not necessarily, but they have put undue pressure on themselves. So got a bunch of text messages that came in. Let me see if I can read the better ones. All right, so KG said, AJ, I think that the Rockets will pull it out just like they won by 30 the other night. They're not going to lose tomorrow. Okay, no problem. I'm with you. DDT, I like that. I'm a wrestler, so you start using wrestling acronyms, I'm with you. DDT says, man, y'all talking all this noise like Chris Paul can walk on water. You're going to see him walk off losing on tomorrow night. Okay, DDT, I ain't mad at you. Listen, don't pile drive my head into a folded steel table chair. I appreciate you, brother. Check in with us again. All right, DR says, I am a huge Rocket fan, but all the pressure is on them, and they put this on them. They should have won last night and got ready for the Lakers. There's some truth to that. There is some truth to that. If the Rockets are taking care of their business last night, then they get a little day of rest. They can, take care of nicks and bruises and what have you, and they can get ready for a Laker team because, believe it or not, the games that they won against the Lakers in the regular season are not like the games that they're going to have to try to win now. Got to beat them 4 out of 7. And again, small ball is great on this night. We saw small ball win 6 or 7 in a row. We saw small ball lose 6, 7, or 8 in a row. You got to win 4 out of 7. And y'all can say what you want about Anthony Davis and what he can and can't do. He has been playing well in these playoffs. And oh yeah, by the way, there's this young man by the name of LeBron James who is a whole different situation. Valencia, did you hear me? He's a whole different situation when it comes to the playoffs. He wasn't there last year, so I think folks messed around and forgot. Playoff LeBron and regular season LeBron. Oh, but AJ, he's older now, and it's not like he's got blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. Okay. How many finals did he get to in a row? With who's that? What's his name? Hey, whatchamacallit? Hey, whatchamajiggy? I'm just saying, he's done it. Harden hadn't. Russ hasn't. Harden and Russ together have been to 1 NBA Finals. Thank you, Willie Gibson. 8 for LeBron James. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to hurt no feelings. Not trying to get under anybody's skin. All I'm saying is it's a different situation than what you experience in the regular season. And oh yeah, by the way, you got to get past tomorrow night to be able to deal with that situation. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, 281-453-1000 if you want to get in. 281-453-1000 if you want to get in. Text me 832-403-5005. Hey, DDT, if you're still listening, call me. DDT, if you're still listening, call me. I want to get to know you. I want to know if you're a wrestling fan or is that just, letters that you wanted to put out there. I want to know. All right, let's see. Let me get this off of here. Got to get Sybil Wilkes on. Sybil Wilkes with our latest COVID-19 update right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
You need to know coronavirus. Several physicians and health experts are attempting to create an independent commission to review data from vaccine trials before it's released on the market. The physicians cite several missteps by the government as the pandemic has progressed and believe an additional layer of independent review is needed. Major League Baseball has postponed the first 2 games of the Oakland A's upcoming 3-game series. The decision was made out of an abundance of caution to allow for additional testing and contact tracing. As the airline industry struggles to return to pre-pandemic flight sales, United Airlines announced it's permanently dropping its $200 fee for most people who change a ticket for travel within the United States. Remains down about 70% from 1 year ago, and the country's 4 largest airlines lost a total of $10 billion from April through June. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Team Texas Tuesday. I got a question about what I heard Sybil Wilkes just say right there. Actually, I got a couple of questions about some things I heard her say, but I won't get into one because it's kind of political. But the other one, the Oakland A's had a player test positive for COVID-19, and the Astros game with the A's got canceled on Sunday night. But the Astros played 2 games with the A's on Saturday. They played a doubleheader with the A's on Saturday. So didn't they play against the player who tested positive, causing the game to be canceled on Sunday? And it's apparently so bad that they're canceling the next couple of games with the Oakland A's. The Major League Baseball is postponing a couple of other games with the Oakland A's. How come the Astros didn't have to go into some type of quarantine? Can somebody help me with that? Terrell said, you've been letting it rip, so don't hold back now. I'm enjoying it. I'm just trying to figure out, why didn't the Astros have to go into quarantine? And they played 2 games against the dude with Rona, and they didn't play on Sunday. They didn't play last night because they weren't scheduled to play. And now they got to play tonight against the Rangers. If I'm on the Rangers team right now and the Astros haven't properly quarantined, I'm like, yo, coach, I got a ringing in my ear. In the back of my ear hole, I got this ringing in the back of my ear hole. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play today. I'm just not understanding how you can play against somebody that they later found out had it, and you haven't quarantined at all. You took a couple of nights off, but don't you have to be locked down a little bit longer than 2 nights? I don't know. Maybe somebody help me out. Maybe did they test the Astros yesterday and today and everybody was good, so they're going to let them play tonight? What? Help me, please. Because, like I said, if I'm with the Rangers, I got to take top of the hour. We'll be right back.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
I know. That was just first hour on the book, second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, rocking my HBCU today. You know, talk about the Prairie View Tigers up there. Panthers, I'm sorry, Prairie View, sorry. Please forgive me. I'm going to give you a little history about Prairie View in just a little bit. We're going to start doing that once a week. We'll wear a HBCU shirt, and we'll give you a little history about the school and that kind of stuff. And again, I want to shout out to a young lady who was on my show not long ago, Marita Gilcrease. She sent me a Rider University t-shirt from the women's basketball team. She was one of my guests on the show, so I'll have to rock that at some point. Also got to rock some of the good stuff that Keith Hennick has sent me from Stephen F. Austin, sent me something from St. Thomas, and got to rock some of that. And then I want to thank Donna Coleman-Holman for lacing me up with a whole lot of stuff. So thank you, Donna. I appreciate you as well. So got to give some love to the HBCUs out there. All right, so real quick, I asked a question before the break, for the top of the hour, about why the Astros did not have to go into quarantine after having played 2 full games, a doubleheader against a player that tested positive for COVID-19 with the Oakland A's. They had to sit out Sunday night, but then they're going to play tonight. And I'm trying to figure out why the Astros don't have to quarantine longer than the Oakland A's, because the Oakland A's quarantined on Sunday, they quarantined on Monday, and now the league is talking about, postponing 3 more of their games until they figure it out. And my friend Terrell says, checks are on the line. Health and well-being is out the door. Could it be that Major League Baseball is trying not to cancel as many of these games? You know, there's this thing now that I don't know if the CDC put it out or if the White House put it out or whatever, that if you come in contact with someone who has it but they're asymptomatic, you might not need to get tested. Real quick, when this for my country people, when your hog gets dirty and you wash the hog off, what's the stuff that comes off the hog? It's called hogwash. That's what that is right there. If you come in contact with anybody that has the Rona, whether they're asymptomatic or not, you better run down to them place and let them people stick that thing in the back of your nose hole. Because all this political stuff with this virus, you're going to mess around and you're going to get it. And them folks going to get elected or not get elected and you're going to be sick. Go get tested if you come in contact with anybody that is asymptomatic or whatever. Do not let politicians be your primary care physician. You heard that from AJ. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this. Check this out real quick. Hold on.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Okay, I needed to get that out right now because, ain't nobody amen in this but me. Forget all that nonsense, man. You're going to mess around and let somebody who's just talking so they can get elected mess you, your family, your friends up, and y'all gonna be dealing with that for who knows how long. If you come in contact with, or you think you've come in contact with somebody, whether they were asymptomatic or their nose was running down to their ankles, go get tested. Please go get tested. Stop. Seriously, let's stop with this foolishness. Politics are for politics. Politics and medicine don't go hand in hand. They just don't go hand in hand. That's why they have doctors for medicine. They have people who study these kind of diseases and stuff like that on the medical side. And if you need a political official, then that's on the other side. But do not let one be your source for the other. I've been holding that back for a while. Notice I didn't say Democrat or Republican. I just said politics. Because, man, some of y'all done lost y'all's mind. Good God Almighty. Keith, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, Keith. I'm not reading your comment. I'm not. Keith, I'm not doing it. I'm not. You have to read it yourself. I'm not reading it. I'm not. I'm trying to stay out of trouble, man. I'm already knee deep in some. All right. So anyway, that's what's going on. There was other Texas breaking news, Texas related breaking news. But is it really breaking news? Now that the Houston Texans have extended Zach Cunningham, linebacker, for the team on a 4-year, $58 million deal, supposedly the team general manager is hard at work on finalizing a deal with one franchise quarterback, Deshaun Watson. Is that news? Is that breaking news? Is that any news? I mean, that's like saying, hey, if you go outside, the air is blowing, the wind is blowing. If you get in water, you're going to get wet. Like, now that we've turned the water on, it's wet. Okay. All right. Like, you should have been working on that deal before you got all those other deals done. I get it. It's a money thing. You want to take care of this and take care of that. Hey, Maryland Badger. You want to take care of this and take care of that. But why are you going to let the most important player on the team wait till the last minute to try and hurry up and run a deal through? Like you trying to wait till the last minute to run him his money. And I don't know, man. I just feel like certain things you just don't play with. Certain things you just don't play with. Like, did they have to get everybody else's deal done before they got Deshaun? It's like the people that Oh, Terrell, I'm getting ready to get in trouble. I'm getting ready to get in trouble. It's like the people that invite you to come do something, they say they're going to pay you to do it. You agree on a price, and they say, yeah, okay, let's do that. And then you got to wait for them to count it out after everything goes down to see if they got it. Huh? Like, dude, for real, if you didn't have it, all you had to do was say, I don't have that much, but I'm sure I have this. You asked me. I didn't ask you. You asked me to come and do what I do. And now I got to wait for you to count it out to see if you have. What happens if you don't have it? I'm supposed to just say, oh, okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. Just give me what you got. Okay, yeah, just it's how much less than what we talked about? What you agreed to? Okay, just give me that. Like, what happens if they don't have enough to pay Deshaun based on what he wants, him and his people? What they gonna do? Go back to Zach and go back to whoever else they signed? Who else did they do? Benardrick, Whitney. They did it. Didn't they do? They did Fairbairn. They did the kicker. What they gonna do? Go back to them and say, yo, man, we need like 4 more hundred. Give me 4 more hundred out of what I gave you. Like the old preacher, count it again. What we got? Holding up service. What we got? Count it again. And then when they find out how much they show, we gonna need like 12 more people to give us pay Deshaun Watson his money. I mean, literally, you need to ask him, yo, Deshaun, what's the number? How much? All right, listen, y'all, we need to take up this much because he won't. How much again? And that's what you give him. You know, kind of like what y'all did with Laramie Tunsil, how he dictated. He like, yo, I got this. I don't need no agent. I don't need no attorney. I don't need no accountant. I'll be right back. I'm finna make him go run me my money. Like took a little, not a napkin, but like a sticky note and wrote a number down on it, folded it over, slid it over to Bill O'Brien and said, make that happen right there. And Bill opens it, looks at it, and hands it to one of the PR, the media relations folks, and say, go announce that we just gave Laramie Tunsil this right here. Say it just like it's written on that paper. That was the whole negotiation with Laramie Tunsil. That's how it needs to be with Deshaun Watson. Like if y'all argue back and forth with Deshaun Watson over some money, I'm gonna know something. I'm gonna know. I didn't say I'm going to. I said I'm gonna know something. I'm gonna know something. I'm gonna know something. And for all you crazy Texan fans, well, he holds the ball too long, and all those sacks were not on the offensive line. Some of those were on Deshaun. If y'all don't get out, I mean, baby, get out my face, move around. Not only are we social distancing, but your breath, like for real, y'all, quit playing. Quit playing. All right, listen. Let me get through this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. Got to take a break. If you want to get in, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. If you want to talk about Texans, I can do that. Want to talk about the Rockets, I can do that. New Orleans, y'all got a little bit of a problem. Alvin Kamara is holding out of training camp and wants a new deal. So if you want to talk about that, we can talk about that. Ain't nobody talked about Jimmy Butler last night. He went off like a grown man. We'll do all that next right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more. There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free guaranteed health insurance quote starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800-797-0921. Paid for by Go Health.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK.
Man, I still haven't figured out which character I want to use to call into the Not So Christian and Me show that comes on Saturday. I got to find a different character, a different voice that I can call in so I can get some stuff off my chest, man. Y'all just don't know. There's some stuff I want to talk about that's not so Christian in me. Hello, you're live on the Lunch Break. Who's this?
Cowboy Craig, how you doing, AJ?
Cowboy Craig, what's going on, man? I mean, what's going on?
Well, let's just be real and call it what it is. We in H-Town. I live in Houston. I love Houston.
Yep.
But I'm a Cowboy fan.
Yep.
Not because, it is because they forced my hand back in the Oiler days, but we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about what happened last night and what's going on today. First of all, let's deal with last night.
Okay.
James Harden is a phenomenal player, but he's not that dog that everybody expects him to be. No way on this side of wherever that ball would have not been in my hands if I was James Harden. Listen, Russ is good, but Russ not playing his position. Russ is the person that drives the ball to the hole. He's either going to get fouled or make the shot. But when he's out of character and he's 30 foot away from the basket and he's shooting air ball, that's not his game, and Harden allowing that to happen. Look at the difference between Harden and Chris Paul. Chris Paul, of course, let's be real. OKC is the lesser team, but they have the bigger heart.
Yeah.
And the bigger man region, But we gotta man up. This is do or die.
Yeah,
this is gonna tell the tale.
Yep. Now, Cowboy Craig, how long you been in Houston?
57 years. On the 12th of this month, I'll be 58 years old.
Bless you, man.
All my life.
Yeah, bless you, man, and happy birthday to you on the 12th. So you've seen the Rockets 2 championships. You
Most definitely.
You saw the Astros championship.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? Any other championships that you can remember?
Unless we're gonna talk about Yates.
I was gonna say without going to high school, because we had some titles back in the day. But what I'm saying is,
bro.
Yeah, that's my point, and that's
and
why.
The Comets, you can't leave them out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now the Comets did; they had a run 4 in a row.
Yes, indeed.
So, but my thing is, I love what you said about Harden. Phenomenal. Might go down as one of the greatest scorers of all time. But at the end of the day, you didn't invest all that money in Harden and Westbrook, and even D'Antoni for that matter, to come up short year after year after year after year. And that's what it's looking like they're about to do again. And you cannot let that stay the same if they lose to Oklahoma City in the first round of the playoffs.
D'Antoni is gone. What I'm just going to be real. Whether they win or not, D'Antoni has to go. They have to go ahead. Listen, they got a phenomenal coach sitting on the bench. But let me tell you what I think happened. This is my theory. I think D'Antoni has silenced everybody else on the bench and told the team, you only listen to my voice. Because no way John Lucas is sitting on that bench and they're going to allow this kind of shenanigans to go on. Come on, man. Let's be real. I mean, Covington is a dog, man. They seem like they kept the ball away from Covington. No one wanted to take the shot. Listen, it's a difference in shooting the ball with confidence and shooting the ball because you're open.
Yeah,
I saw no confidence. Yeah. Nobody got the heart to take the shot. If I miss it, it's on me.
Right.
You know, we ain't crying because we left it all out on the court.
Right.
They were crying after every call. When they don't get when they get hit, notice they quit going to the basket because when they get hit, they're crying for a call and they man, he snowballing down the court. He in for a layup while they crying to the ref. Have you ever seen the ref change? Oh, wait a minute, my bad. Hey, that's not a foul. They never change their call.
No, you're right about that.
Grow up.
You're right about
be real,
that,
man.
Yeah, they got.
I love Houston, AJ, but I'm kind of nervous, bro.
Yeah.
I'm kind of nervous right now. I'm being real.
Yeah, no, I think you got a right to be. Like I said earlier, if it's close and it's the last 3, 4, 5 minutes of the game, Oklahoma City's got a better track record than the Rockets do. If the Rockets don't blow them out and hold them early, it could get ugly down. It could get ugly down the stretch.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. I'm going to call it. You're being politically correct. I'm going to call it. It's a wrap, man. We need some dogs on that team, man. I mean, we really do, man, because, I mean, look at Tucker. They talking about how tough he is. Every time he go down, he's crying. He's crying for a call.
Yeah.
Listen, if I'm going to drive to the basket, I'm every bit of 5'10 and a half, 212, 215. Dude, you're going to pay for it because I'm bringing it to you. But this dude, man, they cry. They cry too much. They got to get the pacifiers out their mouth, kick them in the tail, and let's play ball.
Yeah, you're right. That's the formula tomorrow night. If they don't do that, it's going to be a tough night.
Have a good one, man.
Cowboy Craig, thanks, man. Call me again soon, brother.
Job, AJ.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Be blessed.
You too. Cowboy Craig, always a good call. Love hearing from him. Okay, listen, let me take another quick break. And I see a new face on there, Jamie Mouton. Jamie, if you got time and you're not on your job on a Zoom call or nothing like that, hit me up. I want to talk about what you just posted. Jamie Mouton, 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000. The number scrolling across the bottom of the screen right there. I want to hear from you, brother. 281-453-1000. Let me see if we can get a new caller on the show on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all new 92.3 FM. It's Team Texas Tuesday, y'all.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. 2 radio stations in one.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
Now is a great time to replace your worn-out windows during the Renewal by Andersen 25-year savings event. Upgrade your home today. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Plus, get 12 months with no interest, no money down, and no payments. Call now. Get 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Installation and warranty included. Renewal by Andersen takes every CDC-recommended safety precaution to protect your family. For 25 years, people have trusted us for their window replacement needs, and you can too. Call now to learn about our buy 4, get the 5th one free window replacement offer.
800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
Hey, you want some sports with your lunch? Well, tune in to the legendary KYOK at the lunch break. And I'm Raven Rogers.
All right, y'all. Had to get back to the phone lines. Got a first-time caller on the show. Want to get to him. Glad he answered my request to call. Jamie Mouton, how you doing, man?
Hey, brother, what's happening?
Hey, man, just glad to have you on the show. I saw your comment that you posted on there that you said the Rockets were going to win by at least 15 and on tomorrow, and then go on to take on the Lakers. Are you a hometown fan? Are you from Houston?
Yeah, I'm from Houston.
Born and reared?
Born and raised in Houston. Rocket fan, Astro fan, Texan fan.
Okay, I'm sorry about those.
Good, but
Jamie, I'm sorry about those last two, but I can rock with you on that Rockets fandom. I got that too.
It's all good.
Yeah, man. But listen, let's talk about these Rockets. So, I said yesterday that with the Rockets having won by 30, they could win by 30 and they could lose by 30. They didn't lose by 30, but they lost. So you're telling me you feel like they're going to get back to the form we saw a couple of nights ago and not what we saw last night?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you why. Well, the games that they've lost have all been close games. And, the Rockets under James Harden, under the James Harden era, just refuse to do things easy, even if they have it easy. They had Golden State Warriors down when Kevin Durant went down in Game 6. They could have killed him and went on to the finals. They did not do that. They had home court advantage when Chris Paul went down and could have closed them out in spite of him being out. They did not do that. They don't do anything easy, man. It's not like when the Rockets had Hakeem when they swept Orlando, 4-0. That when you really took care of business like that. But, with James Harden, he's kind of loose. There's not a better scorer in the league. He's improved his defensive alertness. I think last night when you had Russell Westbrook taking the ball, not one time did he get to the rack easily. They seem to be packing the middle and forcing them to kick the ball back out. I think if the Rockets play the Rocket basketball, Eric Gordon finishing at the rim. He didn't finish last night. He missed about 6 layups. He's not hitting any threes. I think if they play Rocket basketball, they win by 15 to 20 points. Easy. Because, at the end of the day, Oklahoma City is just not, although they're athletic, just don't think that they have what it takes at the end of the hang with the Rockets, if the Rockets are playing Rocket basketball.
Yeah, Jamie Mouton joining us here on the lunch break. Jamie, I can't disagree with you. In fact, the Rockets should have handled a young, inexperienced Oklahoma City team. Yeah, they're tough. It's the NBA, and they're not bad. They were the number 5 seed. But for some reason, like you said earlier, I'm gonna go Lauryn Hill on. It could be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. They really want, for whatever reason, to make this harder than it needs to be. Here's a question I have you. Is part of it because of the lack of adjustments by head coach Mike D'Antoni?
Mike D'Antoni, 65 years old, kind of stuck in his ways in many ways. They've done a lot of good as far as basketball. He's been an innovator in a guard-driven type of offense. However, in the previous years during the playoffs, he did not make the adjustments. Last year they had who was that they brought in last year? The kid from Denver that with the dreads. I want to think he made a big time impact during the latter part of the regular season.
You're talking. They call him the Manimal. What is?
Yeah.
Keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah, but he did not play him, and judging from the body language of the player, it just seemed to be a personal situation. Here's the thing with the Rockets, and I love the Rockets, but the Rockets are led by James Harden, and James Harden is a moody player. He's kind of aloof. Strikes me as a guy that seems to be like he's not a rah type of guy.
Kenneth Fareed is his name, and
Kenneth Fareed.
Yeah. Real quick, let me say this to you. So I wondered about that as well. Like, he was so impactful in the regular season and was just non-existent. Like back in the day, if a child was missing, they put him on a milk carton. He was missing in action. I got in touch with a family member, and that is one of the major reasons why Kenneth Fareed did not want to come back to the Rockets. It was something personal between him and D'Antoni, and I just don't understand how you manage or coach a team personally. You need that man's production. You needed his energy. I mean, you had little help off the bench with the bigs, and here's a guy who could play your 4 and your 5, and they didn't allow him to do that over something personal.
And you're not going to win like that. I'm sorry. You there's very few coaches that that can survive that type of mentality. Bill Belichick is a man's man as far as coach. Bill Parcells is kind of like that. You can argue that it's a players' league across the board in sports now, and if you don't have that dominant, respected type of personality as a coach, you're just not going to be able to motivate these players to perform beyond their current level.
Right. One of the things I talk about, I've lived in several different cities. I've lived in cities that won, championships on their respective level. And the thing that I've talked about here, and I'm not putting them down, but I wonder if the city, when it comes to the sports teams, have championship mentality from the top down, from the ownership to the front office, to the coaching staff, then to the players, and all that fans out to the fans, because it seems like here the fans will settle for a whole lot of, that's not okay. It's not okay for a coach not to use his bench because that's what he did in Phoenix. It's not okay for a coach not to use his bench because he's got personal problems with some of the guys on the team. You got to do whatever you got to do to win that championship, and then y'all can duke it out later while y'all pouring champagne on everybody.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I think that, in order to be fair and to be able to motivate players, that's part of coaching.
Yep.
And Houston, let me just say this real quick, Andre. Houston has a past of having the humble superstar. You go back and look at all of the number 34s; they're all been humble type guys.
You're right.
And whether it's Nolan Ryan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Earl Campbell, those guys are the face of the city.
Yep.
So the city is used to those type of guys.
Yep.
And anybody that riles against, even Deshaun, we can say Deshaun Watson is kind of like that.
Absolutely.
The humble superstar.
Yep.
That is the personality of this city. And it's not by accident.
That's interesting. That's a very, very interesting analysis. My question on the back end of that is, how many championships do you get with that personality being the foundation? I get it being in maybe your star player or what have you, but somebody said on the call earlier, you got to put some dogs around them to be able to take care of that business. And I haven't seen a bunch of those kind of players, except when you go back to Clutch City and those days in 94 and 95.
Absolutely. You had a Vernon Maxwell on the team.
That's a dog right there.
He's a real dog. And you need those type of guys to kind of like balance off a locker room. It's kind of like, if you got a police force of good guys, a bunch of Barney Fifes and Richie Cunninghams, are you going to be able to survive on the streets and really fight crime with a bunch of, Barney Fifes and Richie Cunninghams? No, you can't. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to come across a team that is ready and willing to win at all costs.
Yeah.
And at this stage, what we have with the Rockets is, I think they'll win the game, and I actually think that they match up very well against the Lakers with Robert Covington and PJ Tucker dealing with LeBron James. But we won't jump the coop yet. I think that they take care of business tomorrow. I think they're the better team, and if they show up, Andre, listen, man, it's at least a 15 to 20 point victory. I don't trust them in close games, though.
Jamie,
yeah,
keep your phone on, dog. Do me a favor, call me On Thursday now, because the game will be Wednesday night. Call me on Thursday about this time right here if they win or if they lose. Promise me that.
Will do, brother.
All right,
I enjoy your show.
Hey, thank you again, man. Appreciate you tuning in.
Okay, man. Peace.
Jamie Mouton, real good call. First time caller. Really enjoyed this conversation. Very, very, very astute as far as sports goes, and definitely, the city. And let me tell you something. I love Houston. Y'all don't understand. A lot of folks want to, you need to go back where you came from. First of all, stop that. Stop that with that racism and stop that with that fandom, because you don't have the right to put anybody out of anywhere because they don't think like you. Stop that. That's just ignorance. It's just ignorance. And, I know fan is short for fanatic, but you don't have to be an ignorant fan. All right, so let's get that out of the way. Number two, I love this city. When I first moved here, I didn't know a lot about Houston, and I got a kind of funny story I'm not going to tell right now. But once I got here, I was like, oh, this is it. I mean, for me, this is a cheaper version of Atlanta. It's much more spread out. It's very diverse, and you just can't beat the cost of living here. You cannot beat. I lived in New Jersey. Trust me when I say you cannot beat the cost of living here. I lived in Chicago. You can't beat the cost of living here. Even in Atlanta, the cost of living is better here. And then when you add the nightlife, you add the culture, you add the arts, you add the environment. I mean, you're close to the coast. You can get to the beaches, South Padre, not Galveston. I'm just saying it's a very beautiful place. I love having raised my children for the most part right here. I love that. That being said, because I love the city, I can talk about it. And this whole notion that if you say anything bad about the Texans, or if you say anything bad about the Rockets, or if you say anything bad about the Cheatstros, did I say Cheatstros? I meant Astros. I'm sorry. Then you are some kind of way not a true fan. And I'm sorry, that's just not valid. That would be the wrong answer to a test. On a test, you would get an X mark on that one. That's not how it works. In fact, true fans and true people who really care about a city or a topic or a sport will tell you the truth about it. Let me go ahead and go here for a minute. If you're in a relationship and your breath stink, don't you want your significant other to be the one to tell you your breath stink? Do you want to wait until you get out in front of thousands of people or hundreds of people or the people that pay your bills and find out the hard way that your breath stink? You better hope you got somebody that cares about you enough to tell you, baby, put this. I'm finna hand you a mint, and she's doing it low key. I'm going to hand you a mint. Slide that in your mouth as soon as you get a chance. You sure look good. And look, and she tightening up your tie and your bow tie and everything. That's a keeper right there. I don't want nobody on my team that can't tell me my breath stink on the low key. I'm just telling you now. My grandmother was a wise woman in Darrow, Louisiana. Used to live across the levee. Grandma say, if your friends tell you everything you're doing is right, they ain't your friends. If I sit here and just rah the Houston Texans and the Houston Rockets and the Houston Cheatstros, I mean, I don't know why I keep messing up. I get tongue-tied. Cheatstros. We might as well not have multiple radio stations. We just all need to be the flagship of those teams. One thing you know, when you come here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK AM 1140 and 92.3 FM, you're going to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I play favorites to nobody. I talk about the Saints like I talk about the Texans. I do. And I'm a Saints fan. I'll fight you over the Saints. You hear me? Talk too much about Jameis Winston. Now he's a member of the Saints. We going in. And let me show you what kind of real fan I am. I was born and reared in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm a Bengals fan. And they ain't had nothing going on since something had it going on with them. But I still am for my team. I got them on my team. They my team. So again, I appreciate Jamie Mouton. Good talk. I'm with him. The Rockets have to put it together. If the threes are not falling, drive to the basket. Put some pressure on that rim. make them foul you and get some threes the old-fashioned way until your threes start falling. Eric Gordon got to play better. Russ Westbrook cannot turn the ball over 7 times and then the rest of the team turn it over 15. They had 22 turnovers. Can't do that. They gave up 22 points off turnovers. And then don't let those young boys think they got a chance, because if those young fellas for Oklahoma City, led by the CP3, think that they have a chance, could be a long, long offseason. All right? Take a break, play a couple of commercials, and I'll come right back with some more right here on the lunch break. If you got more comments, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. Let me say this again, and I know Valencia is listening, and she knows I've said this before. This is why I have more hope and anticipation for the future for the Dallas Mavericks than I do the Houston Rockets or even the San Antonio Spurs. The Rockets are in a win now mode. If they don't win with this lineup and set up this year, what makes you think they're going to do it next year? But with what we saw out of Luka Doncic and what we saw out of Kristaps Porzingis and what we saw out of some of the other guys on that team, let me tell you something. The Dallas Mavericks' future is bright. The Dallas Mavericks' future is bright. I'll even take it a step further. I think the Cowboys' future is brighter than the Texans. Oh, AJ, there you go. You're just hating again. You're a hater. Hater. AJ's a hater. Nope. When I look at CeeDee Lamb, when I look at Amari Cooper, when I look at Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, and I haven't even gotten on the defense yet, but when I look at them and compare them to Randall Cobb and Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller and David Johnson, and then I throw in Deshaun Watson, yeah, the future is brighter in Dallas than it is in Houston right now. When I look at Mike McCarthy and Bill O'Brien, man, please. Let me take a break. I'll be right back. Y'all almost made me say so. I'll be right back.
It's inspiring. It's empowering.
It's life-changing.
It's called to inspire with best-selling author and motivational speaker, Dr. Sylvia Cole. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock here on the legendary KYOK, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOK.org.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
This is a potter's field. When people can't pay for their funerals, they are buried here. It is a lonely, desolate place, littered with unmarked headstones. No one visits. No one leaves flowers. But it doesn't have to be that way. For as low as $1 a day, you can ensure your family will have the money to pay your funeral expenses. We offer burial insurance plans that pay up to $30,000. Considering the average funeral costs more than $10,000, that's peace of mind for your family. There are no medical exams, your rates won't increase, and your policy cannot be canceled as long as you make your premium payments. Call now to get approved in minutes and ensure your final resting place is more than just a pauper's grave in a potter's field.
800-308-6729. 800-308-6729. 800-308-6729. That's 800-308-6729. Paid for by Final Expense Direct.
If you or a loved one is a survivor of abuse by Boy Scouts of America representatives as far back as the 1970s, we urge you to speak up. We'll stand with you and get you the help and financial compensation you deserve. A jury in Portland, for example, awarded $18.5 million in punitive damages in one Boy Scout sexual abuse case. The Boy Scouts of America filed for bankruptcy, and funds have been set aside to compensate those injured. Time is limited, and so are the funds. Call today. Don't wait. For free information on how to file your claim, call All Survivors Advocates right now. We have a long track record in helping our clients get the legal justice and compensation they deserve. Please, we are ready to help you. Call today.
800-351-7914. 800-351-7914. 800-351-7914. That's 800-351-7914.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
This is Jasmine Highsmith, and you're having a side of sports with your lunch here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Man, I promise on everything I love, Saturday from 1 to 2, I need to be on that phone. Yes, hello. May I speak with Mr. Larry Scott, please? Yes, ma'am. This is Sister Betty Beulah Mae Johnson, Smith Jones Brown, and I go to the third jurisdictional Church of Agape of Church of God in Christ of the Baptist Third Ward. And I need to ask some questions. And it's not so Christian in me. How much time do I have? First, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, to you, Mr. Larry Scott, and all your friends and associates on the roster. I, Sister Beulah Mae, Betty Brown, Johnson Smith, Barney Johnson III. I got questions. Why church folks so mean? Hello? I think can I get by with that? You think they won't cut me off and let me get a couple of questions out? Did I sound like somebody, grandmama? Listen, if you need emergency cash, call Choice Cash. You can get up to $1,000 to $10,000 when you call Choice Cash. 1-800-932-1786. That's 1-800-932-1786. And Choice Cash will take care of you. I need to call that Not So Christian in Me show, man. Don't tell him that I might call with that. Don't tell him that. Now, you got it. The mothers have some long names, baby. They just don't tell you they whole name. You know, you just call them Sister Johnson and Sister Jones. But let them tell you that whole name, that whole government name. Yeah, let them tell you that whole government name. They got 13. And don't let them start including the marriages because they got about 13 names. Terrell Rollins said, I want to know if God is pleased with the WAP song. Who else wants to know? LOL. Listen, true story. Facebook, I guess, had blown up. Social media had blown up about the WAP song. I had not heard it. I did not know anything about it. I didn't know anything. All I know is they were, WAP, oh gosh, oh WAP. And then people were talking from their hearts and their emotions. I think that because of the WAP song, the Lord is saying, and I'm like, what in the world is going on with the song? So I play it. I went right to the video and I played it. And however long it is, I watched all of it. And baby, as soon as I got done, I looked around and I was sitting in my office at the church. I was sitting in my office at the church house and I had just watched all of the WAP song. I immediately called the most expensive cleaner I could find. I called the people that they charge you money just to be on the phone with them. I called people who they charge you money when they start the van up, when they back the van out, when they roll it down the block, when they pull up, when they put it in park, when they get their stuff out of it, when they clean, and when they start it up and drive back again. They charge you for all of that. I had them clean my whole office. Baby, sterilize it all. Sterilize it, everything. And post some of that in my ear hole, because, baby, I wasn't ready. I needed somebody to warn me. I'm not a prude. I mean, music is art. People are entitled to their type of expression of art. But I wasn't ready. I had my mouth open. I was like, what is this WAP about? And woo, I ain't been in that office since. I just go hang out in the break room. Pastor, why you sitting out here? I just can't go to my office for a little while. I just say. Let's see. She said, the Lord was not pleased, Pastor. I didn't do it. I just listened to it. I wasn't bumping to it or anything like that. But I will say this. I'm not judging those ladies because I'm a person who listens to multiple different kind of music. And I've listened to some male rappers who have been far worse than that. Did y'all forget about Uncle Luke down there in Florida? Did y'all forget about Creech with Naughty by Nature? Come on now. I mean, let's be real. Why the double standard for the men and the women? I mean, if you bumped to it when it was the male rappers, why is it all of a sudden we need to find out what the Lord say when it's the lady rappers? I'm just saying now. I'm not trying to get into a Christian debate. I'm just saying. All right. So before the break, I said that there was a bigger upside with the Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Cowboys than I feel with the Houston Rockets and the Houston Texans. When I look at the young players and what they are building with the Mavericks, when I look at what they're building with the Cowboys, I see it a little brighter than I see it with the Rockets and the Texans. So let me just say this, seriously. What's the identity of the Houston Rockets? What's the identity of the Houston? They're a three-point shooting team. The Mavericks have won a championship more recently than the Rockets. The Rockets have been to more playoffs. They've had better records. They've had scoring champions and MVPs. But does that mean that their future is brighter? Because right now, we got more question marks than we do check marks. Is small ball going to work? Is the James Harden, Russ Westbrook experiment going to work? Who's going to be the next head coach? How long is Daryl Morey going to be in position? Those are significant question marks. Same thing with the Texans. What's their identity? You cannot, let me just tell you this. If you still see J.J. Watt as the face of the franchise of the Houston Texans, they're in trouble. If there is not a clear transition to Deshaun Watson as the face of the franchise, then the Texans are in trouble. So what is it? Who's the face of the franchise? I have an interesting answer for you. Who's the face of the franchise, in your opinion, of the Houston Texans? For me, it's Bill O'Brien. Not Deshaun. It's not JJ. It's certainly not Whitney. Not Reed. Not Lonnie Johnson Jr. It's Bill O'Brien. Well, AJ, Jerry Jones is the face of the Cowboys. Yeah, but Jerry Jones is the owner. That's different. That's different. Your head coach / general manager doesn't need to be the face of your franchise. He doesn't play one down, and he doesn't sign one check. You ever heard the expression loud and wrong? The general manager's got a better chance to be loud and wrong than the owner or one of your players. And it can't be J.J. Watt's team anymore. It can't. J.J. Watt hadn't been healthy for a full season in how long? They've done more without J.J. Watt than they have with him. And I always keep saying, if defense wins championship, and many of you argue that J.J. Watt is the best defensive player that there ever was, and how many championships has that gotten them? Let's go back over to the Cowboys. They've got a J.J. Watt kind of player in DeMarcus Lawrence. They've got a Deshaun Watson kind of player. I'm not saying he's as good as Deshaun, But, you know, of the new young quarterbacks, they're both in the top 5. But then when you add in Amari Cooper, you add in CeeDee Lamb, and when you put Ezekiel Elliott in there, they start to pull away. And you've got a new head coach who has won championships. As the head coach, Bill O'Brien has not won a championship except for being in the car. He was on the bus. You know, yeah, was he the offensive coordinator? Yeah. But guess what? The game plan was put in by somebody else. So I'm just saying, I'm not knocking. It's Team Texas Tuesday. That's all teams from the state of Texas. I'm just saying, there's a little bit more upside in that city than it is right here. Right now, it changes. But right now, they got the upside. The odd man out is San Antonio. San Antonio Spurs have a lot to figure out. Is Greg Popovich coming back? If not, will they give the team to Becky Hammond? If they don't give the team to Becky Hammond, what's that going to do to the locker room? Where are they going as far as an organization? Are you still going to be led by LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan? You know, what about DeJounte Murray? What about White? What about some of the other foreign players? You know, what are the San Antonio Spurs going to be after this year? Who's going to lead them? All that kind of stuff. So a lot of questions there as well. Anyway, I done run my mouth so much. It's time to go. Let me see if there's any breaking news other than the Rockets got to win or they go home tomorrow night at 8 o'clock live on the mothership. Let's see. Anything else? I'm still mad at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still mad at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cowboys are having discussions regarding Earl Thomas. That'd be a good move. If I'm Seattle, I call Leonard Fournette right now. If I'm Seattle or New England, I'm calling Leonard Fournette right now. Hey, yo, Leonard, come on in. Come on through. We paying for it. Come on. Like right now. Leonard, come through. Need to talk to you about some stuff. Like right now. What's that saying? Another one man's trash is another man's treasure. You know, I'm trying to figure out how you get rid of a guy that ran for 1,100 yards last season and has had 17 touchdowns over his career in 3 seasons with you. And you Jacksonville, led by Gardner Minshew. Look, let me get Sybil Wilkes on here. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
Experts are commission to review data from vaccine trials before it's released on the market. The physicians cite several missteps as the pandemic has progressed. Believe an additional layer of independent review has postponed the first 2 games of the Oakland A's upcoming 3-game series. The decision was made out of an abundance of caution at tracing. As the airline industry struggles to return to pre-pandemic flight sales, United Airlines announced it's permanently dropping its $200 fee for most people who change a ticket for travel within the United States. Air travel remains down about 70% from 1 year ago, and the country's 4 largest airlines lost a total of $10 billion from April through June. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
It's the lunch break on KYOK. All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. Got to get ready to go. I tried to be nice today. Tried not to talk about social justice issues and all of that. Not because I'm, scared of anybody. Not because I'm, feeling like they have been taken care of. Trust me when I say it's an everyday thing for me. I always tell my friends from other cultures, if you're sick of hearing about racism, think about having to face it every day. We're sick of it too. So anyway, we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it tomorrow. Winning Wednesday here on the lunch break. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. In the morning, you got Erica Campbell and Griff. Get up morning, 6 a.m. to 9. And then a little bit later on, your boy will be in with Winning Wednesday. David Grubb will be back. Should have Kelsey Nicole Nelson host of Listen In with KNN on here as well. And you know what we're going to do. We're going to be three the hard way. So tune in. Don't miss it. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it except wear your mask. Wash your hands 30 seconds or more. Sanitize everything around you, and be sensitive to everyone around you. And I mean that. Give folks 6 feet, whether you believe in the virus or not. Y'all want to listen to Candace Owens if you want. She's back to calling Corona a hoax. Yeah, tell that to my church members who have died. Anyway, when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person, the racism. Y'all take care. I love you.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
Are you ready? All right, y'all. Just wanted to make sure Donnie McClurkin got started. I sure appreciate y'all. I had a lot of fun with y'all today. Terrell, you my friend. I love you. You got to come back and bring your friends with you. Jamie Mouton was phenomenal. Loved him. El Michelle, Monique Mosley, Keith Hennick, Todd Malcolm, all of y'all, man. Just absolutely love y'all. Kimberly Armstrong, Karen Gibson. Appreciate all of y'all. So, y'all make it go. So just be safe out there and don't let anybody, make you feel less than. Don't let people try and give you their opinion of your agenda, and they never lived a day of your life. So, you have a right to feel what you feel. You have a right to talk about what you've experienced. You have a right to say, hey, this ain't right. People can't make things right for you by telling you that things that you say are not right actually are. Just please don't let folks mess with you like that. And even if they try to use the scripture against you, I talked about that Sunday. Folks like to use the scripture. If my people will humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways, well, do me a favor. You go humble yourself and you turn from your wicked ways. I got me. Stop using scripture to control me and start using it to control you. How about that? All right. So anyway, let me get that off my chest. I said I was going to give you a little bit about Prairie View. Here's what I'll do. I'll do that tomorrow since I didn't get to it today. I promise I'll talk about Prairie View tomorrow on Winning Wednesday. As always, y'all, not this, definitely this. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day. Take care now.